All right, guys, I know I'm running late. I had a light go out, so I'm trying to make it where you can see me, because that's, if you don't, that's what it looks like. One or the other. First, let me do my intro until people start chiming in here. I want to talk about some things. I have my list. It's not going to be too long because I went on late and I don't want to cut on anybody's. What I found out by doing my last podcast on Wednesday, I wanted to find out if I can hit any kind of different algorithms and more viewership, I guess. We're always looking for. If you have a channel like this, we're always looking for more viewers, more people watching. What's up, Patty? And Wednesdays, Fridays, I don't think it really matters. I get the same, viewership. I want to talk about some things tonight. I've been busy. I've been out of town. I just got in town. I've been 5 days in Rock Springs. I guide in the off season. I guide during the season. Every once in a while, turkey hunts are in Rock Springs. I'll guide that. We had a big whitetail. 10 guys came in from Louisiana. Me and my son were guiding, and in 2 weeks I have 20 people coming in. I have Bonnie at Rock Springs has 20 people coming in to go hunting for whitetail, because whitetail season here in Texas. And I'm called in to help. See what it looks like without that. And they had a big bison hunt on the Baker 3 this last weekend. The first time I've ever been on a bison hunt. My son actually guided it and brought it back, and I helped skin it. I've never skinned a bison before, a buffalo. It is majestic animals. I love them. And had somebody coming from out of town. My son bought me a bison last week, which is pretty awesome that he did that for me. I love bison. And I never knew how big they were. Getting up on there, we had to get up in the air with a tractor. And so basically that's what I'm doing at this time of year. I've got hunts coming up. I'm down there for 4 to 5 days. And then not only getting prepared for the hunt and after the hunt. Been doing this for years, guys. It's nothing new. What I do with my senior softball bat reviews, I kind of schedule things because of the weather. The weather's pretty bad. It was 50 degrees. I think it got up to 60, the late 60s, temperature-wise. Might be close to 70 here, but and that's in the afternoon. We hit in the mornings, because I think it's better to hit in the mornings. And we don't go hit in the afternoon. It just gets too crowded. A lot of people don't show up in the mornings on weekdays, and we'll go out there. And I'm not going to change that, because a lot of people get busy. A lot of my guys get busy in the afternoon. And they go out there and they, man, it's just sending me a glare, man. I don't like that. And you too, Patty. And I'm back now. I leave again on this Thursday. It's Friday. I leave again next Thursday. I'm there for 5 more days. And what I will do is schedule what we have to do. There's a lot of things that we're working on right now. It's the off season. We're doing a workout routine. Trey just got a hold of me the other day. He's having elbow surgery. He has a nerve problem in his right elbow, and he's been nursing that. And they found out that one of the nerves in the elbow is impinged, and they're going to go in there and try to relieve it in his elbow. So he asked me for exercises, workout routines to actually get back to where he was. And he got pretty good there at the end, but it still bothered him. And he loses strength. Anytime you got any nerve injury, you lose strength in your hands, and same thing with your back. You lose it in your feet. And it's just hard unless you're working out, taking supplements and stuff like that to come back from something like that. And he texted me and asked me to send him a workout routine to get him back to where he used to be by next year. And it's not a long process. He just got to hit, and he does. Trey works out quite a bit. He's I like that you know, he's getting out there and being involved with senior softball again, even though he's hurt and he lost a loved one, you know. And I think that's the reason that, you know, I get a lot of viewers. Like I'm up to 22 right now. And I think a lot of people want to gain knowledge, and a lot of people want to, you know, and they just don't want to sit at home. They want to get out and do something. Even as nowadays, you know, it's November. I want to wish you guys, yesterday was Thanksgiving. I want to wish you guys happy Thanksgiving. I posted something on Facebook, and you guys probably saw that, but you know, we had the family over. That's the one thing I asked. I had my hunters in, and I was talking to them, and they said, do you have a big Thanksgiving? I said, I have a huge Thanksgiving. We cook every year, and we have 30 to 40 people depending. And I've been doing that for most of my life. Even before I got married, we'd have a big Thanksgiving. And then my wife has a big Thanksgiving here. You know, my wife took over the when her family is bigger than what my family was. So whenever I got married to her, it was just like more people packed in, and she took it over, you know, and we schedule it every year. Everybody knows that they come to our house, and we have a Christmas too. You know, we have a big Christmas too. Cook a lot of ham and a lot of turkey, and then other things too. Tamales is big here in San Antonio. We eat tamales. So that's what we do. And a lot of people are asking, are we into that? Yes, we're definitely into that, and feed a lot of people. Got a lot of leftovers. So basically, that was our Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Didn't eat too much. And that's another thing too with the way I eat. It's not a diet. I don't have a diet. It's actually something that, you know, it's something that I've been doing for years. So I think a diet is just something that you're restricted to. I think it's what the way I look at it is I'm going to eat like that the rest of my life. And even the guys I was hunting with were asking me, you know, what do you change? No, I don't change. I don't eat pies. I don't eat, you know, bad stuff. Basically, it's just turkey and green beans and things that are low in carb, because I don't consume a lot of carbs. Things that are high in protein, you know, very little breads, because I know there's a ton, and we have it. It's all out there. And we have it, but I stay away from it, and I don't eat it. We have a lot of pies, a lot of cakes, a lot of cookies, and the kids are there. You know, we have grandbabies here too, and they're all here and they're eating all that stuff. I try to get it out of the house. That's another thing too. After Thanksgiving, I said, no, take it. No, we don't want it in here. You know, it's gonna sit here and just get bad. So everybody just take it. So I don't change my eating habits. I don't change my workout routine. I usually get that in. You know, one thing too, you have to understand if you're into softball. Nick, I got your text the other day. Just got through talking about with the bison hunt we just got back from, and the whitetail hunt, that I'm looking at dates, and I told you this the other day too. I'm looking at dates, but I'm gonna get you in. I just need to find out what the dates are, because I know they're having 10 people this weekend, and then they got 20 the next weekend. So it might be right after the season's over with in January, because I know they hunt beginning of January. So it's right after the season. We'll get in there. Oh, I seen some big ones the other day, some big axis the other day. I was thinking about you too when I seen them. Usually they don't go for axis this year, but we got some big ones. A lot of guys do whitetail. A lot of guys from out of town. One thing about out of town is a lot of those guys from out of town love whitetail, but I love axis too. I love the meat, you know, and this bison, and we have red stag too. Red stag is like elk. The meat is, and we process all of our food. So you guys out there talking about they're trophy hunts. They're not actually. A lot of them are, you know, trophies, because there are trophies there on the Baker 3 Ranch. But I have let you know I have ribs in my refrigerator, my freezer outside, bison ribs. So, and that just the bison ribs fill up my freezer. So we eat all that. You know, it feeds my family and everybody around me that wants it. A lot of pan sausage, a lot of chorizo. A lot of hamburger meat. I will not go to a grocery store and buy meat. All of my meat is wild game, and I think it's better for my family. They don't have anything added to it. That's the reason I do it. If you guys want to go to the grocery store and get it, that's totally up to you. I don't like the stuff they put in animals. Anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about. What you need to do nowadays is get into working out, getting ready, get your mindset for next year on what you're doing and what you plan on doing. I don't want this podcast to be, I'm going to trim them down. and I know I get on a rant here and I start talking about shit, and my podcast average, the last one I did was an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 30 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. I want to get them down to an hour. And I know it's tough because I tend to rant a little bit and I tend to talk too much. And a lot of feedback from people, they don't care. And I get a lot of men out there in trouble with their wives because they sit up for an hour and 30 minutes to listen to me and they don't do. And it's Friday night, I get in trouble. We just got and I kind of try to plan it. The reason I'm running late too is we were eating, and we're sitting there eating. My daughter's in town from Las Vegas because that's where she lives with her husband. And I'm looking at the clock and she's like, really? And my daughter's in town visiting during the holidays. And I'm like, well, I got to go. I got to get on at 8, And then finally we cut it short. We came home, so she's a little mad in the other room, but I'll just talk to her after it's over. So I understand that. I get it too. Intro, guys, join the channel, join YouTube. There's a lot of other YouTubers, and I'm glad to see this, are posting that they're getting over 1,000 subscribers now. I think that's awesome. I think that we need more people out there talking about different things, because I surely don't think I'm the only way to go when talking about all of this stuff. There's other information that, I get a lot of my information by watching videos. I get a lot of information by watching or reading research that are done on chemicals. And just because I talk about them, or I'll use them and I kind of want to sway you that way, doesn't mean it's set in stone. I think you need to take my information and go look and do some research on it and get other opinions. I think that same way with all these people that do reviews out there. How you doing, Matt? Richard, you can't be watching. That's my brother, Richard. Matt McGee. So I think one thing I have seen in the last 3-4 months is a lot of people are posting videos. I think that's a good thing. I think we need to have a lot of people out there that are giving their opinion on things. And of course, I said, I don't think my way's the highway. It's just our opinion on what we think. I happen to have a good group of guys, and I'm going to add to that with a lot of the 60, 65, 70-year-old guys that's coming up next year. I had sent another thing too. I just don't pick up anybody. They got to actually be vetted. They got to be, they got to have a great attitude. They got to listen or talk to everybody or give their opinion. And I think that's one reason why this year we're so much bigger than we were last year in the last couple of years, because a lot of my guys are being more vocal about what they think. A lot of guys are talking, and just not me. They're bouncing their opinion off of me, and I'm kind of talking back to them. If you guys look at behind the scenes, you'll see that is we're actually bantering or talking back and forth and giving an opinion. And I think that helps you guys with, Adam is very good to watch. I talk to Adam, not quite a bit, but every couple of weeks we'll kind of talk to each other and kind of talk about bats that are being out there and give our opinion to each other. And he'll ask me, hey, I'll ask him, did you notice that this is, you get a little bit of flex too much in this? And that's another thing too, is we're not scripted, man. I mean, if my advice to a lot of you guys out there, if you want to start doing this, or if you just want to put videos out there, because don't script it. Get out there, start the camera. Don't even tell anybody the camera is rolling. And just, the one thing I noticed that I've been along to BP sessions, and I don't see that on YouTube. I don't see that. A lot of the guys having fun. If they throw an F-bomb, fine. I mean, that's just guys being guys. There's no women around. There's no parents around. There's no kids around. So they're just being guys. And I think a lot of you guys try to script that where you're not doing that. And here's the deal. We do it. But if you don't like what we do, you have the option. Just turn the damn TV off. Or don't subscribe to my channel. I'm not going to change because You don't like a couple of curse words. And you guys, if you've been a follower for 14 years, I've been doing this, I've kept it down quite a bit in the last couple of years. But it's just not scripted. And I think that's because of the big audience we have at 33 people right now, and more after this is done, because a lot of people are on home on Friday nights. Just, we're not scripted. We don't sit there, and I don't talk to my guys and say, okay, this is what we're going to talk about now. And get in a huddle and go, okay, go. We don't do that. I just get up, I turn the camera on, and we do it. And that's it. I might cut out some stuff when you talk about, you'll see those little cutouts, or somebody coming out and talking to me. For one, you can't hear them too far away, and I don't want to interrupt anything. You guys want to see us hitting. And I only cut out things that I don't want a lot of people out there about a new bat company, or things that people have told me, Dave, don't release this. Just tell me what you think about it. I don't release that. I don't do that, and that's because I've been asked not to do it. So, what I see, getting back to what I see, is I see a lot of people putting videos up, and I think that's a good thing. One thing too is to get noticed. You have to let everybody know how you swing. And I'm not talking about home runs, because everybody nowadays with these bats can hit a home run. I'm just talking about base hitting. Johnny Bailey, he's been putting out videos for a long time about hitting oppo or hitting middle, or hitting the 5-6 or down the line. We post videos because we're a review company. We post videos of us trying to see how far we can hit the ball. We don't post videos of base hits because, in my opinion, if you can hit the ball, we hit on a baseball field. We don't hit on a softball field, because I think that's a disadvantage, because you're not really gauging how far the ball goes. On a baseball field, I can gauge it, especially we've been hitting at this one for 40 years. I can gauge it on how far the performance on that bat. So I can gauge it on if we're hitting them into the trees, when you're hitting on a regular softball field, it's just so hard to gauge, because 300 foot is with these bats, 300 foot ain't shit on 60% of the people out there that are playing senior ball. The younger kids, oh man, they can hit on a 300 foot fence with I don't have one here, but they can hit on a 300 foot fence with a piece of shit bat. I'm not talking about a log, and I'm not talking about a wooden bat. Someone could hit it on wood with a wooden bat, but I'm talking about, a low tier bat, a bat that hasn't even made my top 10. They can get out there and hit it on 300 foot fence. So I think the one thing I would recommend is get on a bigger fence, 325, 330. That's going to test it a little bit. And the fences we hit on here, baseball field, and we have a 330 foot fence we can hit on. So one thing I do like is you guys are out there and you're posting videos, which brings more attention to the sport. When Jose Canseco started doing this, he's 60 now. So 10 years ago, 9 years ago, Jose got into the mix. And the one thing I said, because I was asked that question on what do you think about that? I said, any time that anybody can bring, because he is a figure, to bring awareness to senior softball, because that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for the kids that are playing conference ball. I don't chime in on their shit, and I really don't. What Jose brought is awareness. Negative or positive, it doesn't matter. He got involved. He's out there he's calling out people to hit home run hitting contests, and he's 56, 57, he's 60. During the time, he was calling out people when he was that age. And I don't care. What they're doing is watching him, and he's a senior player, which brings more awareness to senior softball. And I told you guys this a lot. That's what we're doing here. We want to bring more awareness to senior softball, either health, nutrition, what kind of bat speed do you have? So that's basically what we're here to do with you guys, and it's going to continue to next year, because we're going to be more vocal, because I kind of look at the algorithms on what you guys like, and I hear what you guys are saying, and I want to add that into next year, because I want to get better, because there's competition coming up, right? You always want to be better than the people that are coming up, because they're getting more viewership. They're getting over 1,000 subscribers now, and which is good. But to get better, you got to change that. You got to think of different ideas, different kind of ways to do things. I will not go to a exit speed tester. I will not go to that, because I think there's flaws in that. I'll get a compression tester before I did that. And the compression tester is basically to let you guys know how fast the bat's going to break in. It has nothing to do with performance because I don't know your bat speed. And basically that's another thing too. Bat speed, compression tester, you guys will actually know because I have a compression test on my bat speed on what bat I like. A lot of you older guys love this bat. This is a 28 ounce and it is an OG. It's got a red knob on it. It's an OG, no cracks on it. It's actually a pretty damn good bat. Reason a lot of you guys like that bat and where you see that bat around because it gets soft. So what happens, a lot of you young kids, 40, you know, if it's got 1,000 swings on it, it's going to press that wall. It's not going to give you any kind of performance. It'll give you a little bit of performance, but if you square the ball up, it's going to implode on you. So don't throw it away. Just give it to an older guy. A lot of you 60, 65, 70, 75-year-old guys love this bat because that wall is flexing for you and it's sturdy enough to get a response out of because your bat speed's not that high. I've been preaching that for years. So the compression tester will actually help. You know, I would compression test them and put them up on my website. That way when you guys get up there and you go, well, this is my bat speed because you actually tested your bat speed with this thing right here, which is a bat speed tester. They got another brand out there you can get. I'm not trying to plug this brand, but you can get one of these, hang it up on a fence, test your bat speed. And when I compression test them at, 600 swings, you actually know what, because I think it's turned into a formula. And I told you this years ago where I think your bat speed, depending on your bat speed, I can't read all that. Your bat speed, because it does diminish as you get older. It doesn't matter if you're on any kind of supplements or anything like that. You do lose bat speed. You know, the way to beat that is get into the gym. It's going to go down, but it's not going to go down as fast if you get taking supplements or you're getting to the gym. So what you want to do is keep it from falling so rapidly. So that's the reason I preach about working out. The reason I preach about eating, the reason I preach about drinking, getting hydrated, taking all this different shit in your body, supplements, none of them that I talk about are bad for you, so taking all this stuff to keep it from falling so rapidly, when we talk about your bat speed, that's what we're going to keep preaching for the rest of the year and going into next year. So I think it's going to help a lot of you guys to stay in tune. I get a lot of comments from you guys behind the scenes, telling me, hey, I did this because you said this 2 years ago and it actually has benefited me. I went to a softer barrel bat. I was at a tournament in Florida, which I got big love in Florida and I loved it because when guys come up to me and pat me on the back and tell me something, that means a lot to me. And I tell the guys about this, I said this too, it just means a lot to me when you guys come up and hit me on the back and say, hey, thanks. I picked this bat because of you and I'm killing it. I'm killing it with it because the other bat barrel was too hard, So I get gratification out of that because mainly like the mind of a teacher, the mind of my teaching, my guys teaching. And I like when it actually takes shape, and actually does what I think it's supposed to do. Want to get into, I got a membership channel, YouTube. If you guys haven't joined YouTube, please join YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. I've got videos coming out this week on bat reviews, probably every day. This next week, I'm going to put a video out on stuff I need to get out there and stuff that, some bats that really aren't that good, that are being pumped up on all these Facebook and YouTube that I'm looking at it going, no. And it's not by the bat review guys. That's one thing I will say. It's not by the bat, because all of them do a really good job at what they're doing. What you kind of need to distinguish between trying to sell a bat and a bat review guy is there are a lot of other sponsors out there that put the videos up of them talking about how badass the bat is. And I'm not downing them, but they have an agenda to push. And I would, if I were you, if you're looking for a bat, lean more toward the bat review guys. The Adams out there with, Fat Guy BP, a lot of the other ones that are doing reviews, you know, that aren't necessarily. Here's the deal too, that, and believe me, guys, I'm not ripping on you. A lot of the other older guys, not necessarily the guys that do the reviews on the U-Trip bats, are in their 30s and 35 and, you know, pushing 40 a little bit. Because even, I remember my bat speed at 42 years old, and it was in the over the hundreds. So, you know, unless they have other guys swinging with them, that bat speed is in the 70s and 80s. You know, and I know a lot of you guys don't like watching guys hit with a 70, 60 mile an hour bat speed, but it's not about you. You understand? Turn off the video. Don't watch my channel and go to another channel that's more shaped toward your bat speed. You know, because I do talk about your bat speed might be too high, you know, to actually do, because we do have guys that swing into the hundreds, a couple of them that I know. A few guys are touching 100. Adrian, but if you want that, then go to the other channels that talk about that, you know, and just listen and watch. I think what we have is, and especially this next year coming up, is a lot of really good bat review people. And I only mentioned a couple, and I know left a lot of you guys out, but you know, I hope there's a lot more. You know, a lot of you guys out there are starting. The chef is starting. Clem actually did a tour. Richard Clem did a tour. He went to the, you know, Florida had that magazine, that senior softball magazine, did a hitting clinic down there. Clem was there, and then he went to go hit with a few people. He hit with Woodlawn Hitting Club, so he's doing the tour down there. Me and Bubba were thinking about doing it, but I was working last week, so I couldn't do it when I got back from Vegas. So, but that's nothing to the next year with me and Bubba and a lot of my guys are going to do. We're going to schedule something like that out of town, either California or Florida, and just go out there and talk to people, you know, and not necessarily talk to them about what we do, but talk to them about their ideas about things, you know, get feedback from people. How we can make this better. There's Richard right there. And he was hitting with, going back to Richard, he's hitting with the shaft. I think he just reached over 1,000 subscribers. I think that's great, because now he can start making a little bit of money, and it's going to grow. Like if he's on here watching this, you know, one thing, if you have reached, I think Johnny Bailey just reached over 1,000. And I think what happens is they start getting monetized, so they can advertise on their YouTube channel, and they're going to start getting a little bit of money back. Not a lot at first, but they're going to start getting a little bit of money back. The more viewers they get, the more subscribers they get, they start getting in different tiers, start making a little bit more money, because then it can pay for, like I talked about, it can pay for a lot of things that they do. It can pay for, you know, cameras. It can pay for tripods. It can pay for little things like these, you know, that actually illuminate their face, so you're not looking into a dark spot like you're looking at right now. It can pay for these, you know, bats that we buy. It could pay for balls that we buy, you know, although, you know, balls like this that we buy. So it costs, man. That's one thing too, man. This is a charger. I take it with me everywhere I go. And it's like a little battery that it actually helps when I start losing power when I'm doing a 3-hour hitting session. So I go to these. This is $120 something dollars. So that's what these guys are trying to get there, because so they don't start taking money out of the money that they worked for, they earned, or their retirement or something like that. As when they're older, is they can start using money off the viewership, off the advertising that they actually get. And that membership channel pays for a lot of stuff that I have. That membership channel pays for a lot of stuff that I have. You know, the bats that I get, that you know, that like these right here will be raffled off in that membership channel that I have. So I'm trying to give back. I'm not just keeping stuff. A lot of the bats that I don't think are top tier, low tier, you know, on the 8 or 9 tier, I actually sell on eBay, and you can go up there and buy it. I do not sell bats out to anybody. Anybody that calls me and wants bats, I don't sell them to anybody. Actually, nobody. So I'll sell them on eBay, and then turn around, and that money goes back into the same account that I have off that membership channel or off that YouTube channel, that actually gets shoved into an account, and I use that for paying for my stuff. bat bags, stuff like that I can show you, because we don't get everything given to us. That's another thing too. My laptop was paid for from that membership channel. We don't get everything given to us. We have to actually have to buy. We do get some things given to us, yes, because they're advertisement, you know, not a lot, but they're advertisement. Another thing too, if it's given to me, you know, and you guys know this, if it ain't good, I ain't gonna wear it. If it ain't good, I'm not gonna pair it on a pair of batting gloves just to promote the batting gloves. Right when I get it, these feel good. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, they're good. How the hell you can tell? Put about 1,000 swings on those batting gloves and tell me how good they are. Because what if they start ripping apart and you already said they're good? Your credibility goes to shit after that, you know? And we try to stay away from that. And we got batting gloves we have to do a review on. You know when I got them? 6 months ago. Because they haven't ripped yet. And we put a lot of swings on them. I will do a review at the end of the year, and I always do this. And last December, I'm going to do a review on batting gloves. I got a T-shirt the other day, has my name on it. You know that colorful one? He wanted a review within a month. I'm going, why? If I give you a review in a month and this thing tears, my credibility goes down the freaking tubes because it doesn't hang together. Let me wear it for a year, you know, and let you know, does it die? See, that's the thing too. You guys, if you're going to do this, you got to be honest with people. You got to tell them the truth on how things do, because if they give you something, and I actually paid for those T-shirts. Right? And they're holding up now. I'm doing a review in another month, but he kept on me. Hey, do you put out the review? No, it's not the way I work, man. You know, what if I did that? And it's a piece of shit T-shirt. It's actually a nice T-shirt, but and it fades or, you know, it rips or it comes apart at the seams. You know, I know it's a long process and it takes a long time because you guys are asking me about them. And I'm like, man, it's got a time period that we do this. You know, it's going to take a while. You know, I got to see if it's actually going to hold up in gameplay or it's in hitting BP. That T-shirt has, and it's going to be a good review, but I'm not going to put it out the end of December. I want to push a lot of people out there getting involved. You have a smartphone, start taking videos. You know, even if they're little clips. You know, another thing too, I see a lot of is, you know, the wives are taking little clips of the swings on the guys, the senior players. I think you get more viewership the older you are, you know, because everybody expects a 45-year-old to hit a home run. But if you get a 75-year-old guy up there, a 70-year-old guy up there that flat out just rakes, you know, post those videos, I think it gives inspiration on those guys that are sitting at home that used to play this, like, shit, I can do that. Well, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to try this. You know, the bats are better now than they were 20, 30 years ago. Well, I don't know about 20 years ago, but about 30 years ago when the aluminum day was. Bats are a lot better now. I talked to a senior about 2 weeks ago, a couple of them, trying to get them out of retirement just to get out there, and they have put on the weight just to get out there and run around, man. Your health, I would hope that you got looked at by a doctor first before you did this, but your health would actually benefit a lot better if you were out there talking to people, jogging around, not necessarily running all the bases, but just being involved with your friends that you were involved with 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I want to push that. That's always been my agenda, to get your ass off the couch. Because in my opinion, if you're sitting at home not doing anything, you're dying. You know, get out there, get on social media, get out there and be social with your friends, get out there and talk to your friends. Get your ass off the couch, start doing something, get a little bit of workout routine. It could be push-ups, guys. It doesn't have to be anything. And I'm talking about you 70, 75-year-old guys too. Plus, you know, get out there and do something. Listen to this shit. Big inspiration to me. We have about 10 guides on this Baker 3 Rants. There's a man out there called Winston. He makes knives. He makes knives out of pine cones, antler sheds. He's 85 years old and he guides. He doesn't sit around. He's constantly doing something. He's trimming meat because we got to debone everything. So he's trimming meat. He's got his hands in everything. He's slower. 85, guys. He's driving a truck around, dropping guys off at blinds at 85 years old. He never stopped. When you're stopped, you're giving up. And I did a little clip on this too. You know, we play softball. We get our activities up to stay young. You know, because if you don't do that, you're going to get old. And I don't like getting old. It doesn't feel good. So yeah, I mean, that was a big inspiration to me. And I picked his brain. I talked to him about a bunch of things, what he ate, you know, and how he stayed in really good shape at 85 years old, driving a truck around, dropping hunters off and getting involved and talking and doing these little knives that he actually sells for $150, which is cheap, but it's man-made. They're made by him, not by a machine. And he keeps doing that. He's in the house every day, pine cone handle, and they're beautiful. I'll take a picture of them, post them on Facebook. I'm going up next week and I'll take a picture because he always brings them in when hunters come in so he can make a little bit of money on the side. Who's in a little workshop. Even it doesn't have to be softball. It could be a little freaking workshop in the backyard. Get your ass off the couch. Get out of social media, all these news channels that depress the shit out of you. So that's my rant. I'm not going to be long in this. I don't want to be up here for a long time. I don't even know how long I'm into this now. I'll tell you here in a minute. I don't have my time. Oh, I got like 20, 30 minutes. Go join anything that I'm Instagram, YouTube, my membership channel. Join my YouTube channel. I would hope you do that. That way you get informed. I got a lot more videos coming out in the next week that I actually have saved, but I have not published. I'm just waiting for the reviews to come out, and then I can publish all my behind the scenes. Watch the behind the scenes. I know they're long. I'm going to try to keep them down, but watch the behind the scenes. Get a lot of information, just us talking about things. I want to talk about, the first thing I want to talk about, I'm getting deep into this now, and what I'm getting is a lot of people are chiming in and talking to me behind because I've got a lot of stuff that I can talk about. And a lot of people are starting to trust me where they know that they're not going to be outed if they come up to me and they're credible and they tell me something and they know that I'm not going to get up there and spew it all over YouTube or all over Facebook. I'm in contact with a gentleman that owned a bat shaving company, and I'm going to have a talk with. He actually told me that, hey, if you want to know the whole scoop on shaving bats and rolling bats, you know, I know you kind of hit the tip on the iceberg when you're talking to him because he watches my podcast. And he goes, I know you kind of hit the tip on the iceberg, but I can tell you so much more about it. So I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to expose him out there because I don't want to do that. It'll be something that I want to talk about to get more information because he did own a bat shaving company. He can probably get pretty good numbers. You know, I'm spewing numbers out there secondhand, but this is the actual guy. And I think I can get better numbers off of him about how bad it is out there and spread that information onto y'all. I'm not going to videotape him. I'm not going to have him come on Facebook Live and actually join. I won't do that. Even if he wants me to, I won't do that. So I want to get the scoop. I want to get, because I've talked to a couple of these guys years ago, and this guy doesn't own the company anymore. Somebody actually bought him out. And he owns a shop, and he does this, and been doing this for years. And his biggest thing is, and I think what he started doing is feeling guilty about what he was doing. A lot of people wanted him to do youth bats, fast pitch bats, little league bats. Guys, those are being shaved too. So they wanted to get into that market, and he started realizing that it was dangerous, is what I'm speculating. What I'm thinking is he knew that it was pretty dangerous, especially with the kids, and he started backing away and looking at what he does. So that's one of the guys too I want to talk about or talk to and kind of get a lot of information about what he has to say. I did tell you guys that I'm next year it's going to be revamped. I don't want to say that, but I'm going to add a couple more people. I've added a couple of cases of balls. This is one of them that I know that's backwards. And I know there's an app. Some of you guys told me, if you guys got any more information on that app that I can use to turn this around because it's all backwards, there is an app that you can get. And I have trouble looking for the app. I haven't yet, but I always do this. I have trouble looking for shit. I want to get it turned around so you'll actually see everything back here. You know, where it says Johnny Bailey right there. This is my hydration place. This is Little Mexican. That one's Little Mexican. And I think I got Fat Guy BP way up here, which I shouldn't. This is going to be different. And by next year, it's going to be more cut down and more of them in there. More advertising for the bat review people out there. You know, our guys that get up there and have a big channel. That's another thing I'm going to change for next year. Every year I want to change because I don't want this to be stagnant. So every year I'm going to change into different things, newer things, like I told about getting a compression tester. I will have one by January next year, a compression tester. I know they're expensive, and you guys out there know where I can get one for, you know, maybe $600-700. That would be great because I know they're like $9,000 to $1,000 right now. There are new bat companies coming up. A lot of advertising on these bat companies. They're actually testing them. Right now, one of them is Spartan. Spartan Bat Company, or Sparta. I think it's Spartan. Matt McGee can actually chime in here and talk to that. He actually put it, and the reason I'm talking about it now, because he actually did a video on it the other day and talked about it, so I guess that frees me up to talk about it. That's a new bat company, and he said he's out of North Dallas, and I think it's, I don't know, Matt, you'd have to talk to them and tell them where they're out of is, you know, I think Oklahoma, maybe somewhere up north. So that's another bat company that's coming out. And all these new bat companies that are coming out, I don't know, there's a new message board. I'm kind of going to go through this and talk about this stuff right now. I need to mark some of this off before I start talking about bats, because I do have bats coming up right here. Getting some 65, 70-year-old guys, that's one of them. All the Micans are getting seams. I don't know if you heard that last week. All the Micans are getting seams now. And the part about it, it's not affecting the performance until the seam goes all the way around. Seam gets close to going all the way around, get rid of the bat. Don't swing it no more, especially if you're in a big tournament. Happened to me in Florida. You know, the seam almost all the way around. I had an inch to go, and I hit it in one of my bats on Sunday morning, and it went all the way around, and it imploded. Actually, I think the bat head flexed. I felt it flex a little bit too much. You hit a weak ground ball to backhoe short, so I backhanded it and threw me out. So I wouldn't let it get that far. Give it to an elderly guy, 70, 75-year-old guy. Just toss it to him. Let him swing it. He would benefit more from it than you do, because I don't think he's going to get that seam to go all the way around it. But I don't know if they're going to address that or even know about it and address it in the off season. I think somebody needs to tell them, you know, although they do listen, because they went to Mike and did go to a 34-inch bat now. You know, so remember they used to be like 33 and a half or 33 3/4. These are actually 34 inches. Did I say ounce? 34 inches long. But they are getting, this one is a 27 ounce. Actually, one of my membership guys actually won this bat on a raffle, and the seam only goes there. It only goes in the front. It's about 2-inch seam. So it only goes there. Very good bat. It's not going to probably go all the way around for another 200-300 swings. They last a long time too. Those bats do last a long time. You know, I kind of go back and forth here. I just wish I had a pen, and I can't find one. I think I can wing it. New bat companies coming out. Balanced bats last longer than regular end-loaded bats, even a half-ounce end-load. And that's another thing, too, I want to address, be more involved with next year, is start posting up all of my weights on every bat that I swing. The ounces that we're swinging and the weights that we're swinging. The weight distribution, like I'm talking about 17-ounce end load, 88 on the hands. That's going to be and it's going to take a little bit more time, but it probably add 15-20 minutes onto the time that I cut down a video. For me to go and cut down a video, behind the scenes video, it probably takes, I got to watch the whole video, which is an hour and a half. So I got to sit there and watch it and listen to everybody. And then I have to add in all those pictures of the bats. And then I'm going to add on to adding the weight distribution, or what the end loads are, because I think that's a big benefit, because I have changed, you guys. Not everybody, but I've changed a lot of you guys out there to pick a bat on weight distribution. But if I'm not telling you what the weight distribution in the bat is, you're not going to know what bat would better fit what you like swinging. You know, me, it's a 16.9, 16.8, you know, ounce in weight, which 8.8 to 9.2 on the hands. That's what I like swinging. And I think it would be benefit to you guys if I actually posted that, because you would know. That's the biggest question I get. And Trey brought this up, which makes my job a lot harder. Is Trey brought this up? Don't you think it'd be? I'm like, damn, Trey, you're right. He is right. And this is this is why I have all my guys, because they actually push me to think better, you know, because so I don't get stagnant, and they'll bring in new ideas like Trey just did, you know, about 3 months ago, although it makes it a little harder, but it actually pushes me to get better. And that's basically what all my guys right now do. Look at Patty's politicking. Message board on my website. I am working on that in the off season. Again, January is a different year. I usually wind it down at the end of the year, get rid of all my reviews. I never stop. I'll usually go into different things. I'll start bettering my website, start tearing down my website, putting up the things that you guys are interested in, because I hear you guys talk to me through the whole year. But what I do is I run with what I got. I don't change it during the year. I run with what I got for the whole year, and I take all the information you guys give back to me, and I make it better the next year. I change it for the next year. So I don't change anything during the year. I'll run with what I got. What's up, Dave? And I'll run with what I got, and that's it. I want to get into doing more interviews next year. Seeing Dave up there actually reminded me of that. Got picked up with a team that actually will be doing more than last year or the year before, when I've been playing 50s, more traveling. Playing 50s, playing 50, playing 60s this year, major. So basically, I want to get into doing more interviews with a lot of the veterans out there, a lot of the guys that not really, that I actually know in my, you know, Adrian. Talked to him. I played against him in Florida, and just those guys that actually I can pick their brain and talk to them about different things, not necessarily the pros. I don't want to be that guy that just talks to pros, 6'8", 300-pound guys. I don't want to do that. I actually want to talk to guys that low in on the totem pole, and what are they doing to get there? Because I think those guys work harder than the 6'8" guy. That's just me, and I'm not down on the 6'8" guy, or you know, the guys that get up there and just play conference ball. I don't want to go. I've had in this last year, I've had 3 well-known conference players who want to come down and hit with me. Hell no. You know, I'm not going to do that. I would rather Tennessee guys come down, or you know, a lot of, you know, Louisiana guys come down here and hit. I think that's benefits what I'm trying to push, and it benefits my crowd a lot better if I get those guys, and maybe have me talking to them about different bats, what bat would be better with their swing, because I can actually watch you when you're swinging and tell you what your bat speed is, get pretty close to it, or what bat you should swing. Been doing this for a long time, guys, and you know, when you do it for a long time, you get pretty good experience when doing it, and you can pick things out. Guys have hit with me that came down and hit with me, and I change all their shit up about bats, you know, and they'll text me later. I never really knew that. I never really thought about that, you know. And I'm saying, yeah, your swing's too fast. Get away from that bat. I want to get more into that. Charlie Mueller talked about it last year, and we kind of not really did a little bit this year, you know. But I think this next year, you know, me and a few of my guys are going to travel, talk to people, and be more involved with not necessarily the pros that want to come out and hit with me, and not have them out there because they don't benefit me. And they don't benefit you, because we're senior ball, guys. This ain't conference ball, it's senior ball. Those guys bring down a bat that's a piece of shit, and they can light it up on my channel. And I don't want them to convince you, because their bat speed's 110 miles an hour, 105 miles an hour, that bat's going to benefit you. That's the reason I don't do it, is because I'm trying to push something that's opposite of that. You know, I'm talking about softer barrel, so I don't agree with that. They got a harder barrel. They got to have that harder barrel, those conference guys. So they're not going to come here and hit because this is senior ball. What a lot of bat companies have gotten away from is they don't think when it comes to senior ball, they don't think about diminishing bat speed. So let's make a softer barrel, you know. I'm not talking about this one. So let's make a softer barrel. The OG. They don't think that way. So what happens to the 60, 65, 70 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour guys, you know? They get pushed to the side. Because if you look at it, a lot of the senior bats that are coming out, and you'll hear about it in the podcast, not the podcast, you hear about it in the reviews I got coming out next week and a half. A lot of the bats they got coming out are hard as shit. So they're benefiting more of the 40, 45, 50-year-old guys, even the 55s that have that 90, 100 mile an hour, that 99, 95, 100 mile an hour bat speed. Those guys are going to benefit. You're 60, you're 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. And I know why they're doing it, because there's not a lot of them. It's all about money, right? It's not a lot of them out there. The new breeds coming in, you know, the new guys are coming in, and they're kind of those other guys are getting older and they're not working out, you know, and they're staying at home. They don't want to put in the work. So what happens is, you know, your bat speed starts diminishing. Like I told you, you know, our bat speed does diminish, but you got to keep it from diminishing so fast. What happens when you don't work out, you get older, it boom. So what do? Retire. So the bat manufacturers out there, and they're seeing this, and they're like, well, why are we going to cater to them? Because they're going to quit working out, you know. They're not going to benefit, so they're not going to buy. Because another thing, the way they think too is, you can grab, I'm trying to look for one here, and I'll find it here in a minute, but you can grab one of these bats. Here's one. You can grab one of these bats and hit it for the rest of your life. If you're 65, 70 years old, right? You can hit it for the rest of your life. So why are they going to go after you for the market? You know, they want that guy that's 100 mile an hour bat speed. He's going to crack one of these in 300-400 swings. What he's going to do? He's going to buy another one of these. So their market is not to you. And I think that's bullshit, because I watched you guys play. I've been to those managers meetings, and I'm talking to you guys. You're very passionate about this shit. And I think it's a disservice when a lot of these bat companies don't cater to you. They're catering to the 40, the 45, 50-year-old guys. And that's a fact. You know, they don't like hearing this shit, but I'm telling you the way they think. You know, this is a bat for the older guys. This is the HA10. It just opened up and started killing it with that bat. This bat is in the middle. I'm kind of go through these. These are all reviews that are coming out. This bat is in the middle, you know. So a lot of you guys with that diminishing bat speed, I like that bat. But if you get too low in your bat speed, you're not going to like it, because that barrel's a little tough for you, you know. So that's going to go. I had to pick up a bat there, but that's going to go. But I think in a different area. You got to watch the review on it. But I think what has happened is they're forgetting about us. Or I'm a cutter too. It's just not bat speed. It's just not bat speed. I'm a cutter. I benefit more from a softer barrel because I can cut it. It doesn't have that full impact on the barrel, so it's not going to flex that much. It's not going to implode. So I actually cut the ball, and I benefit more from a flexi barrel. You know, so a lot of you guys that hit the ball square, you benefit better from a harder barrel. So basically, you know, this bat right here is coming up the review. This is a new one, but this bat will actually get soft for you smaller guys, for you, you know, the guys with that little bat speed. You know, this will benefit you after this is one of those bats where you can let the kids use it, and then when it actually starts to implode on you, so the striations, they give it to you. This is a good bat for seniors out there with that 60, 70 mile an hour bat speed. You know, then you talk about, you know, seniors out there with that 40. I'm talking about 80-year-old guys, you know, 40 mile an hour bat speed, that 45, 50 mile an hour bat speed. You're better. You know, that's how come somebody said the other day, you know, why do we go to these tournaments and we see all these, you know, old Adidas and old OGs and the 2.0s, because, you know, especially on the East Coast, is, you know, you see them in a lot of the older, over 60. You see a lot of the over 60, because their bat speed has diminished, and that's the go-to bat because the barrel is just so soft on it. People don't understand that when they're trying to sell you something or trying to push what they have. So they'll push a big muscle head out there and hit bombs and say, this bat would be good for I've heard this, and it's bullshit for everybody. No, it wouldn't. You're just trying to sell us something that is good for the 40s and not for me. You know, because I don't have that 100-mile bat speed anymore. I'm going to kind of go through some bats and kind of ramble here because I'm almost done. Message channel on my website. I don't know if I'm going to talk. I'm going to paint. Guys, another thing too. A lot of you guys talk about, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to go to bats because I'm running long. A lot of you guys talk about painted over bats. Painted over bats. It's not as bad now as it was 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Because we do have guys out there like me, you know, we have all these other bat review people that actually call that shit out. So a lot of that is not happening anymore. I definitely tell you guys, if I see it, I'll tell you, this is a painted over bat. They just put another name on it, and they're going to run it with different, I think what they do is they run it with different, but they don't tell you about it, is different weight distribution in it, and it might change a little bit. But it's got the same barrel, same flex. You know, they don't even look into changing the handle on the flex if they're going with a big mass on hand. So the bigger mass might, you guys know this if you swung a lot of bats. So when you pick up a bat that has been painted over and they put a little bit more half-ounce inload on the end, it's going to flex too much in the hands. And you're going, well, this is not the same bat. Well, yeah, it is. They just put more mass on the end, less handle weight. They changed the weight distribution up and didn't take account on the handle flex. Anytime you put weight on the end, you got to put handle flex. You got to put more stiffer handles, what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go through these. Review will be on these next week. This is a top 5 bat. This is a badass bat. I love this bat. Don't like the handle weight. 10-4. Supposed to be a reloaded, not a reloaded. And I argue with you guys about this. This is not a reloaded bat. It doesn't have 3/4 ounce end load like you guys are talking about. No, it does not. Quit saying that shit because it does not. It is a very, very good barrel. A lot of you guys with those balance or 1/4 ounce end loads, even go 1/2 ounce end load. Get you one of those. Great control, thin handle, badass bats. I'm just saying, don't say it's a 3/4 ounce end load. It's a very good bat. A lot of you guys ask me about this bat. It is a very, very, very good bat. Weight distribution is good in it. It's 27 ounce, 17. My guys, a couple of my guys want this bat. John being one of them. Randon. 17, 9.3 on the hands. That's more toward the OGs on this bat. On the originals, the way they used to be, they weighted the weight distribution in them. They might have put a little bit more end load in it, basically because the barrel's stiffer. You know, when you get that softer barrel, you don't want to put that much end load into that. A lot of you guys ask me, where can you buy those bats? I do not know. I've been looking. If any of you guys know where we can buy those bats, post up here and let a lot of people that have been texting me and asking me about it. I heard they won't be out till December. They sold out already. Why did it sell out? Because it's a very good bat. This one, the review will be out on this next week. Another thing too, very good bat right here. That's the Anonymous. New Bat Company. I just talked about that a minute ago. That's that New Bat Company. If you got any information, I think it's CW Law. He'll probably chime in here in a minute. Get a hold of him. Message him about that bat. I heard that they're coming out with, I think what they're coming out with is 1/2 ounce end load, 3/4 ounce, balance 1/2 ounce end loads and 3/4 ounce end loads and 1 ounce end loads. The one thing I would ask you to do is, if you're going to come out with a balanced one of these, you got to change the barrel. I haven't swung one yet. I'm just saying, if you come out, Mr. Law, with one of these, you got to change the barrel. Barrel's got to be softer because you're going to not have that mass collapse that wall. It's going to be too stiff on you. That's just me talking to you guys. I'm not going to talk about this one. I'm kind of getting to the bats. I don't need that anymore. Get into the bats. I'm not going to talk about that one. I'll talk about this one. Review will be out on this next week. This is a very top tier bat. Very good bat. 2-piece bat. This review will not be out next week. We're going to hit this bat one more time. I will tell you a little bit about this bat. This bat is the AT-18 Worth. When we first swung it, and you heard me say this again, hated it. Thought it sucked. But I did hate the Johnny Bailey when I first started swinging it. I hated the Dale when I first started swinging it, and the Masenko. Hated them too, but what happens after 150, 200 swings that they turn into good bats. and they can hit it. The barrel starts to flex. It starts changing sounds. And I'm not talking about when it opens up, it just a little bit. When it opens up, it hits a big gear. I guarantee it puts 30, 25, if I'm swinging it, 25, 30 feet on when it thing opens up. So very good bat. I'm going to stop and talk about something that I forgot. I'm looking at it right now. Might be two things. And I posted this on Facebook, and I had a lot of replies on it. I am trying to develop this ball. I told you guys I was coming out with a ball. This is the first test model on a ball that I'm actually going to try to develop. This, and a lot of you guys saw that ball. You started chiming in on it. And I know it does look like one of those batting practice balls that you find in a cage from years ago, you know, but those were kind of slick, didn't have a seam on it. What I'm trying to develop is not a ball like those, and I want to explain that too. And I know it's got a little seam in it because, you know, it's actually made that way. And it's a one-piece ball. What I'm trying to develop here is a ball that's not a top-tier ball. It's not a 500 compression. It's not a 400, not a 375, not a 300. We're talking about a training ball. A ball that will not, you know, a ball that won't get, you know, it won't get bad because you're hitting it in the bad weather. A ball that they can hit up north, don't damage your bats. A ball that you can break your bat in and don't have to worry. Because what we don't do out there is what you guys will do is you'll take a ball out there, let's say like this one, and you'll start hitting it BP. What you don't understand is this ball is damaging that bat. Doesn't matter, it could be 80 degrees outside. What happens when you swing and hit this ball, it damages the bat. It prematurely makes the life of it shorter. I'm not talking about 200 swings short. I'm just talking about it breaks the bat in differently than when you would hit a ball like this or a spinner, you know, one of those spinner balls. I'd even throw in evil balls. What happens is a lot of guys don't have 3 cases of evil balls to hit, you know. So if you're hitting evil balls at 52 300s, that's better for these bats that I'm going to show you, because it actually lengthens the life. So what I thought about doing is developing a ball that actually does that. A ball that you can buy them and hit them in BP, and it actually breaks your bat in very good, because you're not crushing it. That it's all about the rosin. It's not talking about the carbon. I'm talking about the rosin. You want to break that rosin in softly. You don't want to hit one of these. Anything over 52 300. You know, I would even not go with anything. I would even go to a 52 300. You can do that, and it's actually better on your ball. But I'm looking at going the other way, and it's not going to be popular. You know, it's not going to be the ball that everybody's going to want, but also what this ball will do, and it's going to serve a purpose on a lot of things, it's going to train you. It's going to train you to cut the ball. To get any distance on it, you have to cut it. You know who taught me that in the 80s was Bill Blake, because he hit shit balls. A lot of you guys told me it looked like a Tournament Plus ball. Ta-da! That's what I was going for, is a Tournament Plus ball. You know how many cases of Tournament Plus balls Billy had? Nobody wanted them. Remember back in the 80s? Nobody wanted those balls. So what Billy did was he got them and took them for BP. Well, that taught him, well, he already knew it, but that taught him to cut the ball, because to hit the ball like he was hitting on a baseball field, you had to cut it. So he knew after BP, after BP, after BP, that only way he can hit this ball far is to cut it. That's what I developed for this, is you got to cut it. It actually will not, it can handle the dew on the ground. You just pick it up, throw it in your bag. Don't really have to clean it off so that dew doesn't stay on that leather. It's synthetic. And it's going to be good on your bat. So I'm in the process, stay with me, I'm in the processes of actually developing a ball just for that. It's not going to be for you guys getting out there on YouTube and hitting their 400-foot bombs. No, it's going to be for the guys that really want to fucking train, that really want to get better. Because in my opinion, getting out there, doing YouTube videos, hitting that 500-foot, 450-foot home run ain't training. And it makes you look good on camera, but it ain't training. You know, hitting those lasers through the infield, hitting that 5-6-0, opposite glove hand side of the pitcher, down the line, you know, that's training. Hitting gaps, you know, hitting the ball where it rises, you know, that's training. Not getting up there and hitting the ball 400 foot. Because think about it, with the bats nowadays, anybody could do that. Hot butter. This is the ASA. That video will be out next week too. That's going to be a short video on those ASA bats. Going to tell you if it's good or bad. Is what I'm going to do. This is going in a raffle on my membership channel. It'll be up next week. This bat has lines all in it. It's a 13.5-inch onyx bat. I'll tell you what they are. And the F said, very good bat. Review will be on this next week. Cali Gold DeMarini, balance bat. I'm going to try to soften this barrel up a little bit because I haven't swung this in an envelope. So I'm going to try to soften up this barrel a little bit. The review will not be out there next week on this one. It's the 2-piece 13-inch barrel from DeMarini, Cali Gold, right there. I like the way that bat swings. You guys like this bat, don't you? These bats are going for top dollar on eBay. I actually got it just to swing it, playing around with it, and compare it. This is the new short porch. It's the player map. They got all that back to now. The player, it actually has a name on it right there. I just got this one in the other day. This is a 26-ounce. Yeah, got a big end load on it. We're going to start swinging that. That review will not be out next week. This is the balance model, 1-piece. I got to put that review. This is going to be a short review on this one. Good bat right there. Well, you already know the Proton. That was a Proton. The Proton 1-piece, 3/4 ounce, I think 1 ounce end load, is a hot ass bat. It's up there number 1 or number 2. I think it might be number 1 right now on that middle part. Well, you know that's got the same barrel on it. It's just going to be a balanced bat. So we're going to soften that up. This review will be out next week. This is the Anarchy Gas. This one will be out next week. If you look at it, it's kind of like thin handle. It's kind of looks like it's got a 12, 13-inch barrel right there. It doesn't look that bad. But I'll talk about that in the review. Clam, if you're still watching, one of these are yours. You got to get it when we hit again. The 27-ounce. This is the 50 cal right there. This is the Anarchy 50 cal. We did that review. It will be out next week. I will tell you, this is not like the old 50 cal from last year before. Different color. It's not the same. Watch the review and I'll tell you about it. This is the soft barrel. Enough said. The white one we were swinging, it's around here somewhere. The white one we were swinging, this is the same. This is actually the production model. It's got the numbers on it, where they're going to sell it. Got thin handle, 12-inch barrel, 2-piece. We just started hitting this one. The review will be out in 2 weeks. The only reason I'm saying that is because I'm taking my time with them because I really do like it. TPS Robo. This review will be out next week. It's the 2-piece, 1916. It's a 27 ounce. It's a 26.5. 16.9 on the end, 9.2 on the hands. I like the weight. Don't like the stiffness, but I like the weight. That bat's hard. A lot of you, I heard them in one video saying it softens up. It does not soften up. We hit it a lot, and we're done with the review. I'll put it out. This is the 2-piece. This is a 26 ounce. It's got 16.893 on the hands. You can see it right there. And I will get that app later on, talk about changing everything around so you can actually read all this shit and don't have to get it. Sorry. This one is a 2-piece, very good bat right here. As I'm talking about this, guys, too, I'm almost done. Talking about this, guys, too, I have a discount code on my website, SeniorSoftballBatReviews.com, all one word. I have good discount codes. They're not like everybody else's discount codes. They are actually special just for me. Go up to my website. They're on the front, right? When you see Senior Softball Bat Reviews, they're on the sides. Just click on it, take you right to the website. Put in my discount code. This is the balanced version of the 2-piece. We're going to be done with that review next week. That's another good bat, too. Reason why the barrel softens up a little bit for you. Oh, I can't do that one till January. It's not going to be out. I can't do that one till January. It's not going to be out. Because y'all told me I couldn't. I couldn't post any pictures of it. This is the ASA Dan Smith Proton 1-piece. The video on that will be out next week. That's ASA. And basically us talking about it. This Dudley, we've been hitting it. Finally, we're going to do the review on it. This is another balance bat. It's got 16.5, 9.9 on the hands. I'm almost done. I'm going fast, guys. This is a new 2-piece. This one is, no, that's the end load 2-piece right there. That review will be out next week. That one's not going to be talked about. I talked about the Dudley. This is a 26 ounce. Oh, that's a 27. I talked about that one already. Talked about the Anonymous. I talked about those. This is the other one too. This is the last one, and I'm out of here. I'm trying to go fast. This is the Mega Load. This is a good bat. What they did, and I kind of talked about this too, what they did, because they went to such a drastic 17 ounce end load, 8.8 on hand, so that does have a mega load. It's got a big load on the end. What they did was they stiffened up the barrel a little bit. Takes a little bit longer to get there. If you older guys want to swing it, might want to get to the younger kids or get it rolled. A lot of you older guys, I'm talking about, roll your shit, because it's going to take a long time to break them in, especially your harder barrel bats. Try to get them rolled. You should never be swinging a hard barrel bat if you're over 60 and you got that diminishing bat speed. Do not swing a hard barrel bat. Go to a softer barrel bat. We're still doing a review on that because I want to hit a little bit more. That bat is a good bat. I like the way it's loaded. Guys, I am done. I'm going to try to do these every Friday. Next Friday will be at the ranch. I'll probably come in again and do it on Wednesday and Thursday a little earlier. That'll be next Wednesday or Thursday. I'll talk about it. I'll basically whatever I didn't talk to right now because I didn't get to everything because I got to cut it short. I know this went over an hour. Sorry about that. But again, too, guys, just don't take this. We just got through with Thanksgiving. Coming up on Christmas, do not slow down. You see videos of Johnny Bailey hitting it right after Worlds, right after he got done with that last tournament. He's hitting it again. That's the mindset that you guys need to take. You know, don't give up, because if you do give up and hitting, if you do give up, it takes so much, because we are old. It takes so much to regain it back, and a lot of guys just give up. They don't want to do it no more. If you give up, dude, and you stay at home, it's just you're going to deteriorate, you know, because when you're out there swinging, you're out there hitting, you're actually increasing testosterone. When you're out there playing, you're increasing HGH, right? You're increasing all these things. Go to my YouTube channel, go to my membership channel. I'm going to talk about all this stuff. It's not going to be more about bats. It's going to be more about nutrition, be more about workout routines for everybody. Because I have workout routines for the 40s, for the 30s. I got workout routines for the 30s and 40s. I got workout routines for the 50s and 60s, 70, 80-year-old guys. Just little shit that you can do to get a little bit better bat speed, the movement of everything, a little bit more bat speed. You know, the movement of the weights actually increases. I think you should move your weight faster, not slower. I don't believe in swinging a weighted bat in the off season unless you can push that weight. I do believe in swinging a little bit of weighted bat, but you got to push it fast. So I'm going to talk about all that on my membership channel. Guys, stay safe. I'll talk to you again next Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when I got to leave to go out of town, because I'll be in Rock Springs on Friday. And I'll be there for probably Monday, Tuesday, and then I don't think I got again till another way on in December. But guys, stay safe. Do not give up. Stay eating better, because we're going on Christmas now, and I know the food's going to be out there. Just stay focused and stay off the couch. Thanks, guys.